Why does this remind me of a baby bottle? Yes. We're gonna change things up a little bit. Do we really see a difference? What I'm shocked about is I'm not an oily mess. Hi guys, welcome to Marie Lane, where my goal is to find you the best beauty products for the best prices. And today we're gonna be battling the new formula of the NYX Total Control Drops, because there's a new one and an old one, even though they refuse to admit that, versus the new NYX Bear With Me Luminous Tinted Skin Serum. And I know this is only like a lighter coverage, but the reason I want to battle these is because you can get a light coverage or full coverage with this. You have lots of options. This is just a sheer finish, but this is $17 and this is $14. So I want to see what's so special about this sheer coverage. Not a lot of options that would make it $17 versus something that is $14 and has more options. So let's get into it. Okay, I'm going to be doing the Bear With Me on the right and the Total Control Drops on the left, and then we're gonna change things up a little bit from what I normally do. So normally I will just go in with nothing at all. No primer, I won't set it, no setting spray. I kind of want the primer just on my forehead. I'm just gonna do primer, I'm not gonna do powder, setting spray and stuff, just to see if one doesn't work out quite as well. Can the primer help it out? I get oily in my T-zone. The nose and everything else we'll leave alone so we can see how it does on its own. And I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. This stuff is amazing and it's a neutral finish, so it's not like matte or dewy or anything like that. It'll just help with things sticking a little better. And it smells delicious. And I'm gonna be using my e.l.f. Avocado Blending Sponge to blend everything out. Why does this remind me of a baby bottle? Yes? It's not just me, right? Oh, it comes out like this. Okay, I thought I like unscrewed right there. Okay. That's a pretty good match. It's a watery texture, but it's not gonna like drip off my hand. So according to Ulta's website, this tinted skin serum is infused with tremella mushroom. That's interesting. So it comes in 5 shades, which is like, when the Total Control Pro drops come in 30, I realize it's sheer and so you can kind of get away with having less shades, but I feel like you can do better than 5. I have it in the shade Universal Light. Instantly even skin tone and texture for an all-day luminous finish for natural healthy looking skin. Do we really see a difference? I know it's supposed to be more sheer coverage, but I want there to be like some coverage. It's tinted. It's non-greasy. Leaves skin feeling soft and smooth all day. All day hydration. Lightweight, breathable formula. I mean, it sounds like a good deal. That's a little better. It's not quite as red on this side. My cheeks get pretty red, especially when I'm under hot lights for a while. So that's like the tiny bit better. I have this little zit that's still healing. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this, see if we can get it to look a little bit less there. I don't expect it to make it disappear, but that helps a little bit. Yeah, that helped some. So I'm getting nice and close so you can see there's this side without makeup. With makeup, things look a little tiny bit more smoothed over. Nothing huge though. And there's still a lot of redness pulling through. I realized this is tinted, but I was hoping it would do just a little bit better of a job, but I know some people really like this amount of coverage. We're gonna move on. Okay, so since this is a sheer to full coverage formula, I'm just gonna use a little bit. I have this in the shade Light Ivory. And then just as a little reminder for the NYX Total Control Drop, so it's a lightweight foundation with skin true coverage. It gives a natural skin-like, healthy looking finish while minimizing the appearance of pores and imperfections. Customizable coverage. Real fast, I just want to say, I know I've tested out before against the original formula. I'm gonna pretend like I'm trying this out for the first time so I can really compare it with this formula. I know this doesn't say it's luminous, but compared to the original formula, this has a lot more glow to it. As you can see, there's definitely more coverage. There's still some redness showing through though. There's still some little tiny bit of like freckles / acne scars that I have going on this side. Things are still sheer. And things still look like skin, but I feel like things just look better on this side. There is slightly more of a glow on the Bear With Me side, but there's still a glow on the Total Control Drops. And I feel like there's not that much of a difference in the glow to be like, oh my goodness, you should spend $17 on this because it's so much better. I'm gonna put on the rest of my makeup. We'll see what it looks like when everything's a little bit more cohesive and I don't look exactly like a ghost. I'll be right back. Done. This is what everything looks like now that there is some bronzer and blush on and stuff, and I can't tell as much that there's this coverage difference. Besides like right here it's more red and this side's not as much. Like normally I don't bring blush far down, like almost under my chin, but that's not awful. Both sides feel comfortable. I can't tell that I'm wearing any type of like tint or foundation or anything like that. I have lipstick on my teeth. That's nice. I'm kind of back to middle ground. Both look good enough that I'm just like, okay, you're performing about the same so far, at least from what I can tell. So I'm gonna gonna go about my day. Halfway through, I will do a check-in. It's currently 12:50 right now. I tried to get an earlier start and it just didn't work. So I'll do a check-in at like 7 o'clock, let you know what's happening, and then we'll see what everything looks like by the end of the day. I might have food on my face because I was in the middle of eating dinner and it's crazy windy, so I'm staying on the porch, so it's not the absolute best lighting. But can we talk about how good the Bear With Me site looks? Because even though it's like not super great coverage, I feel like it's better coverage not under my studio lights. While I was editing, I noticed it looked better on camera, which normally means it'll look better in person. Sometimes my studio lights can be a little bit tricky when it comes to what a foundation looks like in real lighting. So like now that I get to see natural lighting, first of all, looks a lot better, in my personal opinion. Second off, it's holding up so well. So I don't know if you can see, there's no separation, no weird spots. As of right now, it's not settling into any lines or anything like that. I almost feel like I didn't need to use the primer on the forehead. On this side, you can see it's gotten just a little tiny bit separate. It's kind of settled into my nose right there. And on this side, it hasn't really at all. It might be just because it's more noticeable because it's a little tiny bit more coverage. Not enough that I would say that that necessarily just should automatically happen. It's doing better than it did last time I used it when I compared it with the other NYX drops. That might be because I used less. That's probably why, actually, now that I think about it. But like, I'm super impressed and I can't wait to see what it looks like by the end of the day. Okay, it's 1 a.m. and I'm ready for bed. If we're talking about how things look overall, I'm kind of surprised that I think the Bear With Me side looks better. It looks less like I'm at the end of the day with my makeup. Then this side, the Total Control side, definitely not awful, but like it's broken up a little bit worse on my nose. And this side, it just kind of like fades versus breaks up. And I don't know if that's the serum or if it's just because it's thinner. Obviously, I used multiple layers of the serum to get it to the coverage I was at, but even then, it wasn't at the same level of coverage as the Total Control. What I'm shocked about is I'm not an oily mess along my nose, which normally I am. And I think it's what like you can see, it looks like super duper shiny right in here, and it just looks the same amount of glow. Like it's a good glow versus like overproducing of oil. And I think that's kind of what I'm appreciating the most about it is my face doesn't look like, oh my goodness, her makeup needs to come off nearly as much on this side than it is on this side. So even though you have more options with this foundation when it comes to how much coverage, if you're interested in a sheer foundation and you're willing to pay the $17, I say go for it, because it's actually like a lot better than I thought. This would be absolutely perfect for the summer if you just want like just a little tiny bit of coverage. I had to, like I said, I had to do more than one layer to get to this point, and so it is so sheer. If you're looking for like a light to medium coverage, you're gonna be disappointed. If you're just looking for light coverage, something to throw on real quick that also works for like combination to oily skin, like this is amazing. I'm super surprised. I don't know what kind of magic this is, but it's magic. Have you heard about the Tarte Shape Tape Creamy Concealer? It's a brand new formula, and I wanted to see if there was a dupe for it. So if you're interested in hearing about that, you can click right here. I love you guys so much, and don't ever forget that you are enough. Bye! Mwah!